All right.
You know, we still love our mixed tapes. All right, time now for Great Day Books, because school is going to be out for the summer. It might already be for you. So maybe the kids are ready for a good read. We want them to read for pleasure, too.
Our friend Lori Fazio, did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
From RJ Julia Booksellers is here, along with Melissa Cole. We are talking about our book club book in just a minute, but first, nice to see you, Melissa.
Nice to be here with y'all.
Nice to see you, Lori.
Thank you. Good to be here, too.
So we can make books. I know sometimes the kids are like, oh my gosh, I just want to.
Yeah, that's my kids.
But maybe if we make some fun books.
There's a lot of fun books, and you know, we are just on the cusp of announcing our summer programming and our summer reading for kids, which will give them incentives, you know, to read and then come in and, you know, maybe get some prizes or just have some fun with it.
I don't want a sticker. I want something tangible.
Right. Well, we do things where you could get raffle tickets, and then we've got prizes at the end of the summer, so it encourages them to read through the summer. We're also going to be rolling out one for adults too. So pay attention. Oh yes.
Yes. We need stickers too.
It's kind of going to be like a little bingo game. So
that's fun. Okay.
So lots of fun things coming up. We're about to announce it, like I said, very soon. So get on our email list. But I want to talk about Blueberries for Sal. So I read this as a kid. I remember reading this with my mom. I remember reading it with my grandmother. It's the 75th anniversary by Robert McCluskey. It's about this little girl who was blueberry picking with her mom, and on the other side of the hill, there is a bear who is eating blueberries with their mom. And so the little girl separates from her mom, and the little cub separates, and they kind of meet each other, and then they just go back. And it's lovely. It's so sweet. Obviously, we don't want to encourage that, but it's just the most adorable book. I have fond memories of this, and they've recently just come out with a little cookbook now.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yes, Blueberries for Sal cookbook.
This is the author's from Maine, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, and he did, you know, Make Way for Ducklings. So if you go to the Boston Commons, right, you see the little. So it's just, there's lots of great picture books out. So I also brought A Shell is Cozy. So this is something that it's not necessarily a story, but there's lots of information and beautiful pictures of shells and fish. And so if you're taking your kids to the beach, you know, or going on a summer vacation or something like that, this, you know, we've got the lobster pots up in Mystic, which is just a similar, or maybe it's Stonington. I think it's Stonington. But anyway, this is a great book too. So it doesn't have to be that you're reading stories all the time. There's lots of nonfiction options that you can, you know, kind of pick things up and put things down.
Absolutely.
I love this little cookbook because you can go berry picking and then do it. This is a half a cup of maple syrup and half a cup of blueberries. You warm it and you have blueberry maple syrup.
Oh, sounds good to me.
Like easy. Okay.
But then there are, so here's, you know, called Firefly Summer. This is a young middle grade reader, so someone in like probably 4th to 6th, 7th grade. And this is about a young girl who ends up, you know, going to spend time with her family that she had never met. And they live on the compound of this what used to be a camp, as she's got aunts and uncles and cousins, and they go on all these adventures. So it's just a fun read for someone who does like to read. Some boys who don't like to read, there's lots of sports books. So Mike Lupica, who we know is a writer about sports, well, he also has lots of sports books.
Is that fiction or nonfiction?
This is fiction, but he also has some nonfiction out there. But there's, so what I'm saying is there's lots of options for kids to read about what they like.
Sure, every place in the lineup counts. Matt Baker is the shortest guy on the team, while Ben Robertson is practically a giant. So a lot of boys relate to that. They're waiting to grow.
They haven't had their growth spurt. My brother was one of those. Sorry, Scott, if you're listening, but and then I want to talk a little bit. When it gets so closer to October, we're going to talk about Banned Book Week. But I want to talk about Amanda Gorman's book, because there was a whole recently controversy down in Florida that, you know, The Hill We Climb, which was her inaugural poem, the book was, you know, possibly going to be banned from a school in Florida because one parent complained about it. Now, it wasn't officially banned, but there's been a lot of talk recently about banned books. And it really takes away educating. It takes away empathy and learning how to
check it out if you don't want to read it.
That's right. You don't have to read it. So this book, you know, is really inspirational, and it's about climbing the hill and getting over past things that you had to struggle with. And so I wanted to talk about it today because I think that this is, again, another type of book that kids can read. They can read something. This is poetry, and they don't have to sit down and read a 300-page book. They can read and be inspired and learn and grow and
short stories,
you know,
poetry,
all kinds of this stuff. So
Are
I
these all
wanted to-
her poems or
We only have
different
about a
authors?
They're
minute.
all her poems.
Okay.
These
We got a
are
minute
all
left.
her. Yep.
Yeah.
Do you
Minute
want to
left, Laura.
talk about everyone in my family has killed someone?
So everyone in my family has killed someone. So if you haven't caught up to where we are, go ahead and walk away from your TV or mute it or something, then catch up because we're going to tell you what's going on because we've given assignments. So one thing that, Melissa and I were talking about are the different characters that we've got going on, right? So we've got Ernest, who's our main guy telling the story. We've got his brother Michael, who we know has just gotten out of jail for murdering someone, and he's going to the family reunion. We know that there's Jeremy, who is the younger brother who died a long, long time ago. We don't know exactly a ton of details on that. We have an idea. We've got the mom. We know the
Melissa's
dad
laughing.
is also dead, right? And he always thought his dad was a bad guy, but he now is hearing your dad wasn't such a bad guy. What's that about? We have the stepfather, Marcello, who Ernest doesn't really like, but now he's like, I think he knows more than
We
he's
only have
letting
30
on.
seconds.
Oh, okay, and then lots of other characters. So we're at a point in here where the brother is now being held for another murder, and Ernest has just been sent into icy water, and we got to
All
find
right.
out what's
Stick
going
with
on.
it. It's a
Stick
little slow
with
to
it.
start, but it really picks up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Finish
Yeah.
the book by June 28th, and
I
would
finished
assume-
it and I loved it. So stick with
And
it.
she didn't like it at the beginning.
Yeah, you got to stick with it. Okay. Eyewitness News at 4 starts right now.